I thought it would be interesting. I'm bad at this, so I thought a good counterweight and a good solidifier, and no, a good counterweight and just a man with a really good brain. Jeremy, good night.
Came in, I saved you.
Jeremy Scott said, the patriarchy is a hypothesis, unproven, and so far has no critical evidence to support it. Also, male privilege or toxic masculinity, these are banner words that radical feminists use and have no basis at all.
When you say that it's unproven hypothesis, that is weird to me, because
I mean, maybe I don't think there's any agenda that, I don't think a bunch of men get together like the Illuminati and necessarily say we're going to suppress speech and rights for minorities. But I do think, I don't think one can look around in the world without seeing that men like me and Jamie pretty much, well, less so like Jamie, but men like me pretty much run things in the world. Should we move on to our next question? Mm-hmm. On the Outside Looking In wrote, I suppose my first question is this channel merely an open invitation read bait for sarcasm, vitriol, and name-calling, or do you intend to engage in actual rational discussion about societal problems? Yes, the latter. Bingo. And he also says, if the latter is true, it might be good to frame the conversation a bit by stating your own definition of feminism. That is something, my own definition of feminism is something that I have struggled to condense.
I would say a feminist is someone who wants women to be equal socially and legally to men. That's the basic definition.
For me, it's not just...
That's what feminism is, what someone who calls himself a feminist. I think you've mentioned that is someone who is very active about promoting those ideas.
I think in order to call yourself a feminist, it can't be passive. It has to be, you have to be actively engaging in I don't want to say battle, in the conversation. Kristen Daw said, well, at least you don't disable comments. To me, that's proof one is full of shit. I don't necessarily think that means one is full of shit. I know a lot of people have been attacked for their beliefs, for voicing their opinions. So I don't necessarily think that means you're full of shit. It just means you don't want the vitriol. I will not disable comments. So please keep them coming. The hate, the love, everything in between. Hopefully you'll find me, if you do find me full of shit, hopefully you'll find me at least an interesting pile of shit. So,
should I not speak up when my son has better grades but doesn't meet the gender quota or racial profile, or should I just check my white privilege and not have a say? I'll tell you, the thing about affirmative action, I guess is what you're referring to, it can be really unfair if you're in a situation where
but so is Jim Crow, I mean.
So is Jim Crow, and that's the thing. It's really unfair on a personal level to do really well and then find out that someone who did a little less well than you gets the place that you feel like you earned. But here's the thing. On a societal level, women, black women and men, Latino women and men, they've been oppressed institutionally, undeniably, for centuries until in the last 50 years. Just in the last 50 years, it's become illegal to treat black people differently than white people. And if you think that in 50 years, one generation has been able to recover socially and economically from that kind of repression, then I think you're living in a whole different reality than Hunter and I are. And affirmative action is a way to kind of close that gap.
I want to thank you so much for speaking at the camera with me. As you can see, he's a little more passionate than I am, and I think that's a good thing. And I think he...
You think so?
Yeah, I think sometimes I'm a little too placid on here.
So placid.
So placid. Lake Placid, right here. I want to thank you for coming on. I hope you'll return.
You're like the lake. I'm like the alligator. Or the crocodile. You've seen the movie.
I've seen the movie. I'm more like Betty White.
She's feisty.
Yeah, she's in the movie.
I bet she's a feminist.
I would say almost certainly. Mm-hmm. I'd say almost certainly.
All right.